and you are absolutely listening to the George Espinlove Show, coming to you live from the Funny Farm. Now, with no further ado, here comes Georgie!
Thank you. Thank you. If that is any sign of what this week is going to be like, wow, we are off. I mean, we are blasting off. And I believe we're going to have a tremendous week this week. We have guests lined up that will, they'll literally put you on the edge of your chair. We spend a lot of time on the edge of our chair around here when our guests come, but we have had incredible guests come from every walk of life, and they have caused us to think, and that's what it's all about. We want them to come, and we want them to make us think as an individual, and be entertained and informed all at the same time. And we are having a tremendous surge of our audience picking up, and to all of our friends down the street, around the corner, across this great nation, and around the world, I welcome you to the George Espinlove Show that comes to you live Monday through Friday, right here from the Funny Farm in a place called Our World. Now remember, we have no specific mailing address. We don't even know where our world is. The only thing we do know is we live here, and that's good enough for us. We want you to come in. We want you to smile. If we can put a smile on your face, we'll be happy. And we want to make you just about as crazy as the rest of us. And if we can accomplish one or two of those things, then we have done exceedingly, abundantly, far above anything that we had hoped for in the beginning. So we want you to come in. We have a guest tonight who was to be with us last week, but due to a power outage, a whole complete train wreck, a whole complete power outage, she's able to be with us tonight, and we're going to bring her on in just a few moments here. We want you to email us, georgece@comcast.net. That's georgece@comcast.net. Thank you for all of the emails that we've been receiving. You have been responding. We are sending them back, answering your questions, and we thank you for it. Keep them coming, because everyone gets excited when we get email around here from our listeners. And wherever you're listening to us from, we thank you from the depths of our heart. Hey, was you able to listen to the news segment of our show that we started on Saturday evening at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time and Sunday morning at 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time? We have been airing the radio show entitled Unshackled. It's the ministry of the Pacific Garden Mission out of Chicago, Illinois, and it's real dramatization of real life people that found themselves in dire straits one way or another, and because they were ministered to, they come out on the other side, and the birds were singing, and the sun was shining. So tell your people, what do they call them around here? Peeps? What is it, Charlie? Yeah, tell your peeps that Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. and Sunday morning, 7 a.m., that's Eastern Daylight Time, to tune in for Unshackled. It's like listening to old-time radio in 2000 13. All right, with no further ado, as Charlie says, Charlie, do this. You know what to do. Hold on here. Take this. All right, you got it? Thank you, Charlie. I don't know what I'd do without him. I mean, he's just a blast. Without any further ado, we want to welcome Luanne Hunt, singer, songwriter, and musician. Luanne, welcome to the George Espinlove Show.
Hey, George, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Good. The lights are on. Everything's powered up tonight.
Yep, everything's powered up.
That's great. That's great. Those are the things that, what do we say on the air? Due to circumstances beyond our control.
Right.
Well, we're glad to have you tonight. We want you to be welcome. We want you to feel right at home. And when we have our guest on, we just kind of like have a fireside chat. Would that be all right?
Yeah, that sounds great to me. I like it that way, too.
Great.
Kind of casual.
Will you tell our listeners, and we have listeners from all over the world, will you please tell our listeners a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, well, I was very much into singing and music when I was a little girl. I mean, I like to do it kind of for fun and get lost in it, if you know what I mean. And I always dreamt of being a musician and a singer when I grew up, but, you know, my life didn't really start working out that way until I was probably well into my 30s. And that was mainly because I just didn't really have a direction when I was young, you know, and I knew kind of generally what I wanted to do, but I wasn't sure how to go about doing it, so I got a late start. But once I got everything together and, you know, realized that I had to do music no matter what, then things started to kind of slowly but surely come together. It took a long time, but,
Grandma used to say it's better late than never.
Right, exactly. And, you know, I always felt like I would probably be a late bloomer, so it turned out to be true. But I'm kind of glad because I think when you have more time to sort of work at what you do and not just grow artistically, but also grow, you know, as a person and who you are, I think it's a little bit sweeter when you start having success.
Those life experiences, and I know a lot of us, most everyone, has some real tough life experiences sometimes, but there's nothing like real life experiences that you're able to bring something out of your soul. Isn't that right?
Definitely. And I can see sort of now as I look back at my past how everything that happened was for my own personal growth. And it didn't always seem like that at the time because I was struggling so much. But like I said, now as I kind of sit back and reflect on it all, I realize that without all the experiences that I had, I definitely would not be where I am right now.
You had it pretty rough when you was growing up, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty rough. I had a stepfather. He was pretty violent and mean. There was a lot of turmoil in our house, and there wasn't a whole lot of talk about the future. You know, we were trying to get through each day.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that probably slowed down my progress too, because, you know, if you're in an environment when you're growing up where, you know, people are talking about, you know, what are you going to do for your future, and are you going to go to college, and what do you want to be? You know, I think your thoughts definitely get more focused, but when you're just trying to worry about how am I going to get through each day without something horrible happening, you know, who has time to think about making their dreams come true?
Exactly. With you saying that, let's veer off here just a second, because there are literally millions of young people that can relate to exactly what you're saying. And
Mhm.
and they're not all listening to us tonight, but there are some, and there'll be more that'll listen to the replays. What is your advice to young people that find themselves in a situation much like yours was? What's your advice to get them to stay focused on their dreams?
I think one thing is to see if they can find somebody in their life, that maybe is a little older, a friend of a friend, a teacher, an aunt, an uncle, or somebody who is sort of a sounding board and someone who they can look to for encouragement. Because a lot of times, if there's a lot of upheaval in the home, they're not going to get it in their home environment.
Mm-hmm.
And I think without that, it's really hard because you tend to draw into yourself, and start feeling bad, and you don't really have a way to let that out, and then those bad feelings can turn into almost like a self-loathing.
Mm-hmm.
So having somebody in your life that is a positive influence is really important. The other thing I would suggest, with the internet now, which we didn't have growing up, there's so much self-help material out there. There's so many great books and e-books and videos, you name it, you can get it on the internet. And I would tell anyone, just search and search for all kinds of inspirational things that you can listen to or read. And I think that'll help you. I mean, even to this day, almost every morning I'll go on YouTube and I'll look for some sort of inspirational video to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's amazing how just 5-10 minutes of something like that can really turn your whole day around and your whole attitude, really.
Yeah, I like.
And I think.
Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say beyond that, I would say to find your focus, sit down and make a list of your goals and what you really want to accomplish in your life, and find that very thing that makes your heart soar. And make a determination within yourself that no matter what, you're not going to veer off that path, that you will do everything in your power to stay on this road to your hopes and dreams.
I like what you have on your webpage. And ladies and gentlemen, you can go to luannehunt.com. That's her webpage. There's a whole lot of stuff on there. But I like what's on there. I'd much rather fail at being uniquely me than succeed at trying to be someone I'm not. Because every one of us are unique, aren't we?
Yes, we are, and we all have a gift, and we all have a purpose, and it's all of our gifts and purposes work together. And sometimes we don't feel like that's what's happening, but that is the master plan, and it is always in place, whether we can see it or not.
Someone told you that you couldn't sing, huh, when you was young?
Well, it was more than someone. It was, a lot of people in my immediate environment.
Uh-huh.
So I guess to give those people the benefit of the doubt or whatever, it's not like I sounded like I was the future Whitney Houston or something, I mean, I probably didn't display massive amounts of singing talent, but it was something that I liked to do all the time and was always working on it.
When you were told such things, did it set you back on your heels?
Not really, because there was something deep inside me that knew that was the path for me. And no matter what anybody said, I sort of had some internal mechanism where I was able to kind of ignore it,
Mm-hmm.
I will say, though, however, that when I started to sing seriously, and really decided that I was going to go ahead and do this for a living, I didn't realize how much the stuff that was said to me had stuck in the back of my mind.
Mm-hmm.
So even when I started to get pretty good at singing, I was always kind of tentative when I would do it. Like, I didn't feel fearful or anything, but I would sing very cautiously because I didn't want to ever sound bad or open myself up to criticism. And it took me a long, long time to get out of that mindset.
It was almost like walking on eggshells, huh?
Exactly. And, you see people sing these days, some of the big stars, and, they just kind of lay it out there and give it all they got. And I just never was able to do that. Nobody really knew that I was holding back because I was real good at covering it up.
Mm-hmm.
But I always knew in my heart that I was holding back. And as my husband would observe me over the years, he started to pick up on that too, And I realized that I was never going to really get to the place I wanted to get as a singer if I didn't get past that mentality of being afraid to really just let it all out,
What did it feel like when you finally let it all out?
It felt so freeing and like I had really accomplished something.
Mm-hmm.
Like sort of like I finally made it, in a sense. 'Cause having records on the charts and having people, send me nice comments and everything, that always has been nice. But it was, it's those moments where I have some sort of personal achievement that feel the greatest to me, that I'm most proud of.
And you think, gee,
I knew how hard it was.
Gee, if I had just done this sooner, huh?
Well, yeah, I guess I could look at it that way, but on the other hand, I think things sort of unfolded in the right time.
Mm-hmm. Hey, how about if we play one of your songs?
Okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, Luanne Hunt. I like this. I really do. Dancing on the Moon.
Slowly moving ever close to you, when the world comes in 'cause boy, I love this feeling. I'm dancing on the moon with you. Dancing on the moon with you.
Luanne Hunt, Dancing on the Moon with You. Luanne, I love that little tune.
Oh, thank you.
I really do. You know, I'm a real music nut. Well, ask my wife of 45 years and she'll just tell you I'm a nut. But I love music. And I've got to have music. It's like a fix to me. And when I hear music, I like the kind of music that you can grab a hold of the feeling and you can actually hear and understand the words. And the tune just kind of dances around in your head and goes way down deep inside. And that's one of those that does all of that to me. I just think that thing is just so neat.
Yeah, I have that sent to me by a songwriter in El Paso, Texas. His name is David Francis Paul. I guess it was last spring. He sent it to me on a site that I'm on where I accept songs, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just a guitar and a vocal demo that he put together with his brother. And I mean, I was just knocked out by the melody and the words, and so, you know, I got in touch with him immediately, and I said, I want to record this, you know, probably in the next month. And he said, oh man, that would be awesome, because he had never had a song cut by anybody before. So I was in the studio in record time with that one, because it just spoke to me on so many levels.
That's one of those songs that the first time you hear it, you like it. The second time you hear it, you really like it. And the third time you hear it, you just got to keep hearing it. At least that's what it does to me. Hey, you have appeared with some top-notch names in country, huh? Like Toby Keith?
Well, I've actually shared the bill with people like him. We all sang at a festival back in the early 90s, and he was on the same bill as I was to the festival. We all sang on the same stage.
I see that you earned 3 spots on the 2009 Grammy ballot. Tell me about that. What's that like?
Well, it was pretty exciting. When I was recording Breaking Through, the CD Breaking Through, which was my very first nationally released album back in 2007, I was joking around with my musicians about, you know, get your tuxes out and everything, because we're going to go to the Grammys, you know, and I was just kind of joking around. And then after the album was completed, we submitted Solace in the Wind and another song called I Want to See Jesus Stood. And, you know, sure enough, it wound up on the ballot. So that was just incredible, because I really didn't even think it would get that much. So
that had to give you a warm, fuzzy feeling inside.
It did. It did. You know, especially in, like, Solace in the Wind was in the country category, and it's not a true country song, so that was kind of cool that it could compete with all the country stuff out there.
Can we play that Soul in the Wind?
Solace in the Wind, yes. Sure.
You don't mind, do you?
Nope.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, listen. Luanne Hunt's music grows on you, and this is just a suggestion from Espinlob. You know, he comes up with some harebrained ideas sometimes, but this is just a suggestion. You know, if you want to start your day off fine, wake up with Walking on the Moon, or this one. It'll make your day go well.
All around Kill Devil Hill. I've looked past the
Take solace in the wind, Luanne Hunt. You know, Luanne, my friends over there in the UK, and especially my buddy Harry Burke over there in Northern Ireland, I think Harry would really like that song. I know he's in bed right now, but when I talk to him tomorrow, we chat kind of often. I'm going to mention to him to make sure he listens to the show because I think that Irishman would really like that. Do you think?
Oh, I think so too. Yeah, in fact, I've had so much great response from overseas radio on that song.
Yeah, that's pretty nifty. Let's see. You had number one songs on the European music chart in Belgium, Denmark, Austria, and France. You were number one on Europe's premier hot disc Christian chart, number 9 song on New Music Weekly country chart, number one artist on Roots Music Report folk charts, and number one artist on indie folk charts. And I read somewhere that you are one of the most successful indie people in the business. Is that right?
Yes, it's true. Most indie artists, for one, you don't see them on the Grammy ballot as a rule, you know. And also, with all the chart hits I've had, that's kind of unusual for indie artists, especially in overseas, you know, on country radio.
And you do something. I mean, it just elates me when I hear people do the things that you do. You help other people along the way. Can you kind of tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, you know, it seems like pretty much my whole life, that's the one thing that I've always been geared toward is to kind of shining a light on other people. And whatever I do with my own music or, you know, my own creative things, I always try to seek out other people who need my help, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember, I don't know if you follow American Idol or not,
Uh-huh.
but several years ago they were having a songwriting contest. I think they did it for 2 or 3 seasons. They were looking for the coronation song.
Mm-hmm.
And so all these, thousands and thousands of people sent in songs. Well, a lot of those people went on the American Idol message boards and they were posting links to their songs that they had submitted for the contest. And somebody took all the links and made a list, and I went on there and listened to a whole bunch of songs, and a lot of them I thought were pretty good. So I decided that I was going to produce an album of some of the best songs that were submitted but didn't get picked for the contest. So I put the word out, and this producer from Nashville got a hold of me and said he liked my idea and he wanted to be involved in the project and help me get it mastered and everything. So we worked on it together. His name is John Gassaway, and we worked on it together. It was called Hits They Missed, Songs Not Fit for an Idol, or so they say. And anyway, so Sean and I got to meet all these incredible songwriters through that project, and the project did really good. We were on a whole bunch of radio shows, and even the Dubai Times did something on us, you know. But anyway, one of the gals that submitted, her name is Dana Lamb. She's a school teacher in Atlanta, Georgia. And she submitted this song that I just thought was dynamite, and it was just a piano vocal demo. So Sean and I contacted her and said, hey, we'd love to put this on the album, but, you know, you need to kind of produce it like a real record, you know, but we thought it was so good. And she said, man, no one's ever believed in any of my songs that much. So we hooked her up to get it produced and all that. And long story short, I mean, she just got a cut on the Texas Tenors' new album that's coming out. They were winners on, I don't think they won first place, but they came in like 3rd or 4th place on that America's Got Talent show.
Mm-hmm.
And they have, like I said, they've been touring all over the world, and they not only cut Dana's song, but they designed their entire CD project around the theme of her song.
Wow.
And, you know, it was just so great to be able to shine a light on somebody like that and see doors open for her, because she's just remarkably talented. And I think that she could probably be one of the top songwriters in the business.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it is. I mean, she's supposed to be on a television show that's coming up. I think it's supposed to start this spring. It's like a songwriter contest type of television show, and she got cast for that. But I don't have a lot of details. But she's just one person that I can give an example of somebody that I was able to open a door for. But I mean, I just love doing that. I mean, doing that for the people is almost more exciting than when something good happens to me, you know?
And I have found out in my 64 years on this planet, sometimes it takes me a little longer than other times to learn something, but I finally got it, that if you quit looking so much at yourself and look outward to those that are in need, those that need help, the things that you are trying to do, just somehow, some way, doors open up and the light comes on, and because you're not so self-centered. And I found that to be so true. And if we only had more people like you that looks out for those people that need a little hand to pull them up instead of a foot to push them down, we'd be in a whole lot better shape, not only in this country but in the entire world. You are to be commended for that. That's totally unselfish, Luanne, and I think that is just tremendous.
Oh, well, thank you. Yeah, I guess I've always kind of wired that way, you know, to want to help other people. And it's like I said, it's so much fun and so rewarding to know that you've been able to do something. And I think a lot of it for me is that I didn't have a lot of people helping me in my life. And so it really fired me up to want to do things for others because of that, because I know how it feels to not have anybody on your side, to not have any doors that you can walk through, you know.
To see somebody's face light up, wow, that must send you on a real high.
It really does. I mean, you know, my business partner, Randolph Michaud, and I have a record label called Star Creek Entertainment. And the first year we were in business, it was back in 2009, a girl got in touch with us from Canada. Her name is Amberly Beatty, and she's a Patsy Cline impersonator, and she's really, really good. But anyway, she wanted to sing my song Christmas Without You. It was commissioned by Patsy Cline originally, so she was calling us for permission to do it. Well, anyway, Amberly and I were talking about the song, and we had a few conversations, and she always had a dream of going to Nashville and recording a record. And I hooked her up with one of our other artists. His name is Alan Carl. He's a very, very popular country artist overseas. He's an older gentleman, but man, the guy's just had like scores of #1 hits over there, and I mean, he's toured over there many times. But I hooked him up with Amberly because he likes to do things with like duet type things, and he just flipped out over her voice. And he called her up one day, and he said, Amberly, he said, I want to record an album with you, and I'm going to fly you to Nashville, all expenses paid, to do this album.
Wow.
And, I mean, he's a very wealthy man, you know, so he was able to do that for her. But, I mean, he brought her down there and just made her dream come true. And he said, I don't want you to impersonate Patsy Cline. I want you to sing like you sing, and it'll be Alan Carl and Amberly Beatty, you know. And they did CD, and it's just absolutely beautiful. And I mean, when I found out he was going to do that for her, I just thought, man, this is incredible to make someone's dream come true. You know?
Wow. I need to stop here just for a second and remind our listeners, please go to luannehunt.com. luannehunt.com. And there is a whole lot of stuff in there, and it's all good stuff. Luanne, lest I forget, because sometimes I have one of those senior moments, would you tell the folks where they can get your music at?
Yes. Well, you can always download it on iTunes or Amazon or eMusic, any of the online internet outlets for music. You can listen to some of my videos on YouTube. If you just go to Luanne Hunt on YouTube, if you do a search, you'll find my channel. If you want to purchase my music outside of, iTunes or something, you can do so on my website at www.luanne.com. And right now, I actually have a little special that I've been doing for 2013. It's $20.13, and you get my latest CD, Most Requests, which has 14 songs on it. You also get my Christmas album, and you get an autographed photo of myself. So if you want to take advantage of that, that'll be up for another few weeks, and you can do that on my website as well.
And you're taking pre-orders for your new autobiography too, aren't you?
Yes, that's coming out in mid-March, and it's called One with the Dream, and that also is available on my website right now for $10 plus shipping.
You have, I was looking over some of these things, and I shared with you, and ladies and gentlemen, if you listen to our first two segments of Unshackled, that's produced by the Pacific Garden Mission in Chicago, Illinois, if you listen to the first two segments, Saturday evening and yesterday morning, we open with Luanne's song, There Is a Fountain, and it's so appropriate. But I was reading here, that was your second number one hit the week of July 1st, 2012 on Europe's premier hot disc chart with her song, There Is a Fountain. The timeless hymn was penned by William Cowper in the late 1770s, and I can remember as a young boy in church when we sang that. So it's actually been around longer than I have, and it's so beautiful. Could we play that?
Sure.
All right. Let me get my dooflicky here. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, There Is a Fountain, and we asked Luanne if we could use that song to open the segments of Unshackled, and she's been so gracious to say yes. There Is a Fountain, Luanne Hunt.
From Emmanuel's veins, and sin
There is a fountain. Luanne Hunt. That's beautiful, Luanne.
Thank you.
I was looking over your website, and I mean, it is just all the people that have such nice things to say, and it's not flattery. It's the truth. You can just sing. I mean, just you can just flat out sing. I don't know other way to put it. You just sing. Did we lose you?
Hello?
Hello. Did we lose
There
you?
you are.
Did we lose you
There
there?
you are.
I was saying, with all the nice things that people have here on your website, the only way I could describe it is you could just flat out sing.
Thank you. Thank you. That means a lot.
Well, I mean that, and I just put it in Espinal terms. You know, flat out sing. I don't know of any other way of saying it, but you could just flat out sing. I like that. Those songs that's on your this is your album. What's it called?
Most requested?
Most requested. Yes, they are beautiful, beautiful, beautiful songs. And ladies and gentlemen, you can get all of Luanne's music at Luanne. Is it Luanne.com or LuanneHunt.com?
Luanne Hunt.
Okay, Luanne Hunt. Yeah, blah, 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 blah. Okay, I'll get it here. LuanneHunt.com. And you can get all of her music there. There's some videos there and songs, and you can read all about her. And I mean, it's just fantastic. And when you listen to those songs, it'll most certainly lift you up. What do you got going on right now?
Well, I'm getting ready to record my 10th studio CD this year, which I'm really excited about because, well, for one, it's a retrospective on my childhood growing up in the small town of Conshohocken, Pennsylvania. Conshohocken is actually about 20 miles outside of Philadelphia. But anyway, I had this idea to do this project for a long time in my mind, but I just really wasn't sure exactly what I was going to write about.
Mm-hmm.
And 2 summers ago, I was here. It was in July. My husband was putting down some laminate flooring, and I was battling a kidney stone, and I didn't feel good. I got out my guitar, and in a weekend, I wrote all the songs for the album.
Mm.
So anyway, I've been working on them. I didn't want to record them right away. I just felt like I wanted to wait and do it when I felt like it was the right time. So I work with a band by the name of the Royal Guardsmen. They are best known for the song Snoopy versus the Red Baron.
Oh, yeah.
Remember that? Yeah. They're on my record label, and I manage them and produce them. And I'm glad I waited to do this project because it occurred to me a couple months ago that the Guardsmen would be the perfect musical team to help me put this music together in the studio.
Mm.
So it's kind of a change of pace from what I've been doing previously with as far as the way I've been making records, but I just wanted to change things up a little bit. And the Guardsmen also expressed interest in doing some live shows with me, so I thought, well, if we do live shows, it's better that they put the music together first and they don't have to go and try to duplicate something on previous recordings.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys are just world-class musicians. Mm-hmm. I mean, they are unbelievably great. And to be able to go in the studio and produce this CD with them is just, it's almost, I can't hardly think about how exciting it is, you know.
There again, if you ever, for lack of a better term, and you get lost like that, it just makes you feel so warm and fuzzy on the inside. It's beyond words. I know, And yeah, old Snoopy and the Red Baron, man, uh, they've been around a long time, and it's good to know that they're still out there doing their thing. What else you got
Well,
going on? Pardon?
oh, I was going to say, yes, they actually got dealt a pretty bad hand back in the 60s with the record label they were on, and when I heard their story, I wanted to help them out, so that's how I got involved with them. I just produced a documentary about their musical journey, and we're shopping it around right now with distributors, but, you know, it was really important for me to get their story out there because it's one I think that people really like to hear, and it's kind of eye-opening about some of the things that go on in the music business.
Yeah, yeah. People, I think a lot of folks out here on this side of the bubble kind of looks in and just think it's all glitter, glamour, lights, and gold. But it's not. It's not like that. There's a lot of heartaches and pains and ups and downs, and it's like everything else in life. It just don't always turn out the way we want it to turn out, and regardless, there's mountains to climb and valleys to walk through, and rainstorms and all the other things that moon rocks that might fall on your head. So it's not all glitter and glamour as we look, you know, when we watch American Idol and The Voice and all the other things. It's just a tremendous amount of perseverance and hard work, as you well know.
Yes, that is absolutely correct.
Do you go on tour?
I have been on tours, but I haven't toured lately. It's been about, well, maybe 2-3 years since I've really been out doing a lot of performing.
Mm-hmm.
However, I might be doing some stuff with the Guardsmen once we get this music put together, but that probably won't be till, probably, if anything, late this year and maybe into early next year.
If you ever get, of course, you're on one side of the country, and we're over here in the small wonder state of Delaware. But if you ever get this way, would you please contact us?
Yeah, I would love to meet you in person. That'd be great.
Yeah,
I come there sometimes because my family still lives in Pennsylvania, so.
Oh, cool.
I try to get back there time and, you know, now and again, just, you know, because I don't want too much time to go by without seeing everybody.
Right. Yeah, we'll shout it from the rooftops, and we'll do that. Friends, Romans, countrymen, whoever else is out there, lend us your ear. We'll tell you that Luanne Hunt is coming. We'll be the sounding board for you if you get this way. So you make sure that you let us know.
Oh, I will. It would be great to finally have a face-to-face.
Yeah. There's nothing like a face-to-face, I'll tell you.
Nope. Skype just doesn't cut it.
No. I was looking over these Luanne Hunt breaking through the single sessions, How Christmas Feels to Me, One Star, A Million Lights. My goodness gracious. Do you write most of your own songs?
I write a lot of my own songs, but not all of them.
Mm-hmm.
I co-write with people, and I do a lot of that. But I also like to cut other people's stuff. There's so many songwriters out there that just have not had anybody give them an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
So, as much as possible, I try to do that. You know, look for great songs by writers that are, you know, in some obscure part of the country that probably will never get a break. You know.
Mm-hmm. We just had a fellow on here. Excuse me. I think it was Wednesday or Thursday night, from just up the road here in Smyrna, and he is a singer-songwriter musician by the name of Saul Knopf, and he just won he was the he was the winner in I'm trying to think, songu.com, and he's going to go to Nashville and work with Odie Blackman, and he's going to work with him and kind of pick his brain and watch and see. So we're pretty excited about that. And the man can flat out sing. He's another guy that can just flat out sing. So we're pretty thrilled that happened. In fact, it happened the night he won that thing, the night that he was on the show. So it must have been last Tuesday. But regardless, yeah, he won the night that he was on the show. So we feel like we kind of grabbed his coattail and rode along with him. We were so happy.
Mhm. Yeah, that is so neat. That's great.
Well, Luanne, it has been a pleasure. And before we get out of here, I want to play one more song.
Okay.
Now we played "Dancing on the Moon," and how about if we play that the sun's coming up? Would that work?
Yeah, that'd be great, and I'll dedicate it tonight to my best friend and soul sister Kathleen Brennan, who actually co-wrote that song with me and my husband. So.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the sun's coming up.
Couple of cups of coffee and a pastry or two. I pulled out of Starbucks with my memories of you. If I could only forget and let go of these regrets, maybe I could start my life anew.
Luanne Hunt, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and to everyone that's listening tonight, we thank you. Luanne, it has been a privilege to have you on the show tonight.
Oh, thank you. I am honored to be on your show as well.
And before I let you go, keep this in mind. I guess it has been months since we have played what I call traditional music, the music that everyone knows, and it's being played on the radios and so on and so forth. We have been playing for months now. We go to a site called musicalley.com where producers can go and bring the music up and put it on their shows, and then we go back to musicalley.com and we tell them what show we played and so on and so forth. And then they notify the artist, and then we're able to make contact with each other, so on and so forth. But I always tell people there are some real gems. All we need to do is go out and turn over some leaves and kick some stones, and you'll find some real first-class talent out there that people know nothing about, but they need to know. And we've made contact with them. We play their music. We push them up. We'll bring them on the show. We'll talk to them. We'll showcase their music. So if you have anyone that you think would be interested in coming on the show, send them our way. We'll put them in the visitor seat, and we'll let them talk about their passions and their music, and we'll showcase their music while they're here. So please keep that in mind and tell them our door is always open.
Oh, that'd be awesome. Yeah, I will send a few people your way.
Keep up the good work. Keep making those real pretty songs, and keep on keeping on. And it's been a privilege. Stay in touch with us, will you?
I will, George. I will, and thank you so much, and thanks to all the listeners out there for tuning in, and I really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you. Thank you very much.
You're welcome, and I'll talk to you soon.
All righty. Bye-bye.
Bye.
And, ladies and gentlemen, Luanne Hunt. Go to Luanne Hunt. That's LuanneHunt, LuanneHunt.com. And you can listen to her music, see some videos, the whole 9 yards. Just go through there and read. There's a store there. You can purchase her products. There's audios, videos, gallery. There's pictures, reviews, and news. LuanneHunt.com. And we thank her for taking the time out of her busy schedule and coming to be with us tonight. I'll be back in just about 30 seconds or so. I got to catch my breath. That was fun. That was the Ghost Children of Cali. I'll get it. The Ghost Children of Calico, the Electric Eel. Wow. We want to thank Luanne Hunt for being with us tonight. Go to luannehunt.com. That's luannehunt.com. You can read all about it, listen to her music, see some videos, purchase the CDs, and so on and so forth. You can do it at iTunes and I guess Amazon. You can download it from, and all those places. But my oh my, there are some beautiful, beautiful songs that we played tonight, and I thank her for taking the time to be with us. Tomorrow night, let me get my magic gizmo here and push the button. Tomorrow night we'll have Steve Perry with us. He is a Vietnam veteran who wrote a book entitled Bright Lights. Bright Light, one light, not plural, Bright Light. And he's going to be with us tomorrow night, and it will be a good one. And you know it will. Then on Wednesday night, we're going to have a man by the name of Brett Brayton. I hope I'm saying that right. Of course, Espinal screws names up. You know what I'm saying? I can't even say my own right. But Brett Brayton, who is a retired agent of Homeland Security. And he has written a book, and he is going to come and he is going to talk with us about some real nitty-gritty things that go on. You know what I'm saying? So you won't want to miss that. And I'm sure tomorrow night, tonight you were tapping your feet, snapping your fingers, bobbing your head, and shaking your booty because Luanne Hunt was here, and she was singing and singing. The lady can flat out sing. Tomorrow night, when Steve Perry comes, and we talk about his book, Bright Light, Vietnam veteran, and it's about some secret missions that took place in Nam. You're going to be sitting on the edge of your seat. When Brett comes on Wednesday night, you're going to be sitting on the edge of your seat one more time. On Thursday night, we're going to have Frank Reed, who has written the book, and I'm probably going to get it backwards. Mother's Six Marines, or Six Marines of Mother. The reason the title is the way it is, whether I got it forward, backwards, sideways, upside down, is the fact that his father was a Marine, he was a Marine, and all of his brothers were Marines. So there were 6 Marines. And he served during the Second World War, and he's going to be with us on Thursday night discussing the book and talking about his life and all those interesting things, and that'll put you on the edge of your chair. He's also ready to publish another book. Excuse me. One is a children's book. I wrote it down, and I left it on the desk. I can't remember what it was. A snail named something. It's a children's book, but the other book is entitled The Toughest Man in the Bar. And I think you'll like that too. So he'll be with us on Thursday night. And Fridays, you just never know what's going to happen around here on Friday. So we have a full week scheduled right here on the George Espinal Show. And don't forget, we have started broadcasting Pacific Garden Missions Unshackled, a dramatization. I have to say that slow because I get all twisted. A dramatization of real-life people that find themselves in dire straits. And this coming week, we are going to be playing this one.
Forgiving infidelity is extremely difficult. A woman called Terson grew up with an unfaithful father, and then she married a man who was unfaithful. Don't miss the inspiring story of how she forgave when she found someone who was faithful and true. Listen to her dramatized testimony coming soon on Unshackled.
And that'll be right here on the George Espinlove Show, Saturday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We'll be on live. Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. We'll be on live. So, we've ended up broadcasting 7 days a week now. We're not complaining. But you'll want to tune in. We are going to separate the two, and you'll see that when you come to listen to those shows and so on and so forth. But Unshackled, it's the Ministry of the Pacific Garden Mission in Chicago, Illinois, that has been operating since 1877. That's 1877. And they have been doing the live productions of the dramatizations of real live people since 1950. It is the oldest, the most longest running drama radio in history. And so, tune in. You'll like it. It's interesting. And it'll cause you to sit up in your chair, too. So, tune in, and I know that you will enjoy it. Tell a friend. Tell somebody. Tell everybody. Even if you don't know them, just say, hey. You know what I'm saying?
We'll take you from where you are to where you wanna be. 'Cause radio works. Radio works. We'll take you from where you are to where you wanna be. 'Cause radio works. Radio works.
It's time. Tap your feet, snap your fingers, bob your head, and most definitely get up and shake your booty.
See a story with a different end, another actor and another play. To this matter I have to attend. Sometimes I waited and sometimes I hoped. So many nights alone I had to spend, chained by addiction and compulsory of those old habits that we depend. Gold on your finger makes me doubt. Makes me doubt. The piece of gold is the reason why you can count me out. I turn the page and read another chapter. There is a story of a different kind, but there is something lurking in the shadows, something that bothers my mind. A piece of metal proves eternal love. There's no happy ending here to find. As long as we play by different rules, we'll wander around both different lines. Gold on your finger makes me doubt. Makes me doubt. The piece of gold is the reason why you can count me out. Makes me doubt. A lack of confidence, a lack of courage, a broken promise and a broken heart. To put the truth and reveal the weakness, a piece of it forever tear you apart. To leave the past behind and let it die. A new beginning and a new start. To keep on walking in the same old shoes, never prevent you from falling apart. Gold on your finger makes me doubt. Makes me doubt. The piece of gold is the reason why you can count me out. Makes me doubt. The piece of gold is the reason why you can count me.
Wow, that was pretty neat, wasn't it? Hey, I want to say hello to my friend Lou Balls, who's in the chat room. He listens quite often, and he's not always in the chat room, but I always know that Lou is close by. And I told him it's kind of like he is my guardian angel. He's watching. He's around somewhere. And listen, I mean this. I just don't say these things to say them. I'm too old to do that stuff anymore. Listen, I know, and I don't want to embarrass Lou, but I know way down deep inside that if I was in a pinch, Lou would be there. I know that. Beyond the shadow of a doubt. Well, Espinal, how in the world do you know such a thing? Because I do. I know. I just know. You know what I'm saying? I just know, and that's the way it is. Hey, listen, if you missed Friday night's show, go back and listen to it. We had Colonel Lee Ellis, retired Air Force man, who was shot down over North Vietnam in 1967 and spent the next 5 to 6 years in captivity by the North Vietnamese. He was at the Hanoi Hilton, what they called the Hanoi Hilton, I'll get it right, with John McCain and many, many others. And he was with us on Friday night. He has written the book, Leading with Honor. This man is a man of integrity. This man is indeed an honorable man. And I am so thankful that I was privileged. It was my privilege to sit and chat with Colonel Lee Ellis. And he shared with us his experiences from what it was like to be shot down in his captivities. And even though he described them to us, there is no way, none whatsoever, try as hard as we might, there's no way that any one of us can even get close to knowing what it was actually like to be held captive by the enemy. He is a tremendous man, so go back and listen to Friday night's show where we had Colonel Lee Ellis, a retired Air Force man that is truly an honorable man, and go get his book, Leading with Honor. And now, my friend, who I hope is listening, although it's probably, 5, 6, it's probably going on 2 o'clock in the UK, so Maria and Paul probably isn't listening, but maybe they'll listen later. And we are still, they're coming on the show. They said they'd come on the show. It's just a matter of they got to get their schedule right and everything in place. Maria Danes, ladies and gentlemen, this lady can flat out sing.
and faces you would never forget.
Maria Danes, Shadowlands. That's one of our most recent ones. And they will be on with us as soon as they can get their stuff together. You know, yeah, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? And I am really looking forward to it. I want to say one more time, thank you to Luanne Hunt for being with us tonight. I love her music. I love most music. I really do. I can't live without it. Most of the people I know can't live without it. You can't live without it. Nobody can live without it. We gotta have music. We gotta have a song. You know what I'm saying? A song to pick us up, and a song to put us to sleep, and a song to wake us up, and a song to keep us going. We just need music. You know, that's what I'm saying. Okay, where am I at? Hey, I hope you enjoyed tonight's show. I really did. We had a lot of fun. We're just laid back around here. And we like to have our guests come and feel comfortable and just sit down and chat with us. We have had some incredible, in fact, every one of our guests has been incredible. And I told you they come from all walks of life, and they are so inspiring. Every night when I shut the radio show down, I sit here for a few minutes and I just think, you know, it's a real blessing to be able to broadcast. Years and years and years ago when I was doing it, I felt then like I feel now, and I've always felt that way. It's a real blessing to be able to shout out to the world, whatever it is that you want to shout out, particularly in this day and age with all the modern technology we have. And I want to thank every one of our guests that have come, that will be here, and continue to come to the George Espinlove Show, because we've got them lined up, and we got them coming night after night after night after night. And then on Saturday nights at 6:30 p.m., we'll come back on live, and we'll play Unshackled. It's the ministry out of Chicago, Illinois, the Pacific Garden Mission in Chicago, that's been there since 1877. And they've been doing real live dramatization over the radio since 1950. Real, true life stories of real men and women, just like you and I. In fact, this is what will be coming up.
Forgiving infidelity is extremely difficult. A woman called Terson grew up with an unfaithful father, and then she married a man who was unfaithful. Don't miss the inspiring story of how she forgave when she found someone who was faithful and true. Listen to her dramatized testimony coming soon on Unshackled.
And that'll be Saturday evening, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. And who knows? Yeah, we just might throw one in there after our show sometime during the week. You just never know what's going to happen around here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and all of our friends everywhere, down the street, around the corner, across this great nation, and around the world, I sure thank you for tuning in to the George Espinlove Show tonight. Tell your friends, neighbors, in-laws, outlaws, anyone that you can get an ear to, tell them to tune in, listen, because we got some good things going on here. There's a whole lot of love that comes to you from the Funny Farm. We mean that. We say it every single night when we're ready to ride this puppy out of here, but we mean it. Send me an email, George C.E., that's georgece@comcast.net. Thank you for those that have been sending emails and talking with us, corresponding with us. We correspond right back at you. Keep them coming. We like it. whatever you're going through, I sure hope we was able to put a little smile on your face tonight. Lift your spirits up a little bit better. And maybe, just maybe, we made some of you just about as crazy as the rest of us. If we didn't, you keep coming back. We'll get there. We'll get you. We'll get you loony as the rest of us. Hey, wherever you're at, whatever you're going through, whether it's a deep, deep valley, some heartache, some tragedy, we care about you. I tell my friend Lou, good night, Lou. I'll talk at you later, buddy. Good night, Jen. I'll talk at you later. Wherever you're at, if it's nighttime, have a good night. If it's already daytime where you're at, then you have a good day. But regardless, remember, until tomorrow night, same time, same station, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, right here on the Spreaker Network. This is George Espinlove saying good night, and God bless you.